It is so great catching up with my next guest because he's got a big fight coming up here against Ryse Brink, Legends of Combat 2, May 10th, and you can watch that live on Spectation Sports. Happy to be joined by my guy, Devin Smyth, here on the program. Devin, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course, yeah. It's a bit of a homecoming for you with this fight, getting to fight for a Matt Frendo promotion. Of course, Matt, one of the staples in the MMA industry. Tell me how this all came together with you getting this opportunity to fight here on May 10th.
Yeah, it was really kind of like a coincidental thing that happened. I had called Matt to sort of talk some shit to him, and he ended up letting me know that he had a card coming in May. So and I've been having trouble finding a fight. So I said, man, like, what do you say? Like, we can get Devin on a card, come back to Michigan for maybe a little something, and he loved the sound of it, and I gave him some opponents that I possibly had in mind, and the first one that I had was Ryse,
Okay.
and it worked out. So I'm happy. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back in Michigan and be able to fight in front of the people that have always supported me throughout my career. So.
Very cool. Okay, glad. Yeah, a lot to unpack there. Actually, before we talk about Ryse, why haven't we seen you in a while? You mentioned it was difficult getting fights. Was that the reason, or did you want time off? It's been a bit of a layoff coming into this one. What's been the reason for that?
Yeah, man, it's just tough to get some fights. I try to get some more. I try to stay more active with LFA, and just hadn't heard anything back from LFA, and just a lot of other opportunities that have came and went. So just trying to find something that locked down that made sense. That made sense as for like career wise, and made sense financially as well. So and this one made both. So happy to do it.
Good. All kind of worked out there. Why did you pick Ryse? Why was Ryse an opponent you wanted to fight?
It's just always a fight that I feel like in Michigan, we were supposed to fight a while ago, and it was a couple times, but he was down to 55, I was at 70, and now we're both at 70, or I guess he's big enough to come up to 70. So, and we're both really pretty big ticket sellers, so it'd be something fun to be able to do, to put on a nice big show and main event and an event in Detroit and have everybody come out, and it'd just be a good time, man.
Okay. Cool. That makes sense to me. And obviously I know Michigan, it's kind of a small community in a way, like everyone kind of knows everyone and all that. Had you two ever trained together before? Was there any history there? It's just, you guys were always on the opposite side.
Yeah, no, just always on the opposite sides. But I've never trained with Ryse.
Okay.
That's he's always like been. He's like a friend. I've known
Yeah.
him for a while. He's a real good dude. Has a beautiful family. I respect him a lot. And business is business. So
Yeah.
got to go in there and fight and do what it do, and after that we can shake hands and go back to being homies. So.
Well said. Well said. I like that. That's great. Now let's talk about Ryse the fighter. He's 9-2. How do you feel like stylistically you match up against him in this one?
I just think I'm better. He's 9-2, and he has really good jits, really slick jits that he sort of finds a way to scratch out some submissions in his fights. Um, Not that talented on his feet, and not really all that talented of a wrestler, So, um, I just think stylistically it's a terrible fight for him. I was surprised actually when he took the fight, and this is like no shade to him, but like
Hmm.
I was just surprised. But then again, I don't think that Ryse is trying to like do anything for real with MMA. I think that he's a bit satisfied with what he's done so far, and I think that he kind of just wants to fight for the people.
Okay.
Which is commendable, and which I understand, but I'm not the same. I'm trying to make it to the big show, and I'm trying to be able to support somebody in something, So it's two, I guess, sort of different sides of the spectrum in terms of what we're trying to do with MMA.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a great fight. Of course, I was stalking your Instagram a little bit. I see you're working with your mentor, your good buddy there, Rashad Evans. Take me through camp. What's that look like sort of leading into this fight? How have you structured things and who you're working with?
Oh, it's been great, man. I've gotten work with such great people over the last, especially like the last like month. I've worked with Kamaru Usman multiple times. Gotten some work with King Mo Lawal, and then Rashad. Just because I live with Rashad, we get it in our garage, man. We just get that work, get that grind that sort of I need, and to be able to make sure my conditioning's at that top notch, and be able to make sure that I'm ready to go all 3 rounds if needed, and I'm also ready to defend an onslaught of takedowns that's getting ready to come at me. So
Cool.
man, it's always a blessing. Every single camp, there's so much knowledge there. There's so much, so much there to soak in and just help develop myself as a fighter. And I'm very grateful, man.
That's great. So where are you living then? I didn't know you were living with Rashad, so this is news to me. So how long have you been living
Yep,
with
I
him, and
live.
where are you
Yep,
guys living?
I live in West Palm. I live in West Palm. I've
Oh,
lived
you
with
are in
him
Florida. Okay,
for.
cool, nice. Well, you got
Yep,
good
yep.
weather
I
there,
live with
so
him. Oh man, it's the best weather. It's the
yeah,
best
yeah,
weather.
no, for sure.
And I came back. I came back here, it looks like
I brought the heat with me. It's a
Nice and
little bit
warm.
hotter
than last time I was in Michigan.
so I'm liking it. But yeah, I've lived with Rashad for the past 2.5, 3 years now, man.
Oh my
I'm
God, I've
just
been so out of the loop. I didn't even know this. So that's cool, man. Well, that's
Yeah,
I mean, and
yeah.
obviously he was supposed to have that boxing fight, right? So I'm sure you were helping him for that too.
Say it one more time. I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit.
I said he was supposed to have that boxing fight with Rampage, right? And so I'm sure you were helping him for that as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
training with him every day for that. We was getting some real good boxing work, and I feel like even through helping Rashad prepare for a boxing event, it heightened my boxing a lot as well. Because we was focusing on boxing a lot. I was able to myself just focus on boxing and get my hands in a better place, and have a better understanding of throwing my hands and my footwork, and all of, like, the main stuff that comes from boxing. So I'm definitely grateful for that. That was a blast. That was a blast getting ready to train with him, and it's a shame it didn't go through, but it still might. So we'll see.
It's so funny that we're doing this interview right now because guess who I'm interviewing in like 40 minutes? Rampage. So I was kind of wondering that myself.
Rampage,
Yeah, I'm
really?
talking to Rampage and like right after you actually. So I'm curious to
Tell him
see.
I
I
said
will.
what's
I'll
up.
name drop the great Devin Smyth for sure. So I'll have to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Um, Now you've been off for a bit. I mentioned that. How about the weight cut? Have you been? I guess if you've been training, you've been keeping the weight off. But how's all that going ahead of the fight?
Man, it's going great. I'm sitting at about like 81 right now. So I
Nice.
got about 10 pounds left. Yep, 10 pounds left, 2 weeks out.
Uh, I feel good, man. I feel real good.
I can tell.
Just gotta
Get a couple miles in, not too thirsty.
I've been able to eat. So I feel real good. I feel real good.
Now, who's going to be in your corner for this fight? Who's making the trip with you?
I think Rashad will be doing a UFC.
UFC event, unfortunately, so
Okay.
Rashad won't be able to be there. But I think I'm gonna have a pretty a pretty good. I'm not supposed to say anything
Okay.
about that, but
Okay. Fair
but
enough.
it'll be a nice game.
Was it? I'm not going to pry it out of you, but is it someone that you mentioned you train with by chance or no?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I think I can figure it out. But that's all good. How's this fight playing out on May 10th? How do you see it going down?
I think he gets knocked out, man.
I think I get a first round finish. I think I get a first round finish. I'm not really sure how it comes. Maybe my hands, he dives into a knee, dives into a kick. Maybe it's another spinning back kick. Maybe it's a tornado kick. Maybe you never know with me. Just know it's gonna be it's gonna be a highlight.
You mentioned, the goal obviously to get to the big show, and you had an opportunity a few years back, obviously on Contender Series. I know it didn't go your way. You fought a number of killers since then. If you look at your resume and who you've been in there with, like, credit to you, man. You haven't been taking easy fights. So a win here over Ryse, especially a finish. Where does that put you in the grand scheme of things as far as that goal of getting to the big show?
Man, I'm focused on one fight at a time at this point, and that's something
That I've learned
Yeah.
in the past. I've gotten so in my head about, oh, I gotta win this fight. I gotta win this fight because this is my fight to get there. This is my fight to get there, and it takes a toll on me, man. And so what I want to do, man, I want to focus one fight at a time. I do know that I want to stay active. I want to stay as active as possible. Like 8 months out the cage is too long. A year out the cage is too long. Like, um, I know after this fight, if I'm God willing, I'm healthy. I want to fight again real soon. So, just keep building on something, and eventually they're gonna have to let me in there. I put enough wins together. Eventually they're gonna have to let me in there. So, just focus on the fight ahead. Focus on getting this win on May 10th, and looking forward to the future.
So I know you mentioned you live in Florida. I don't know if you remember this. A couple of years back, you were in Vegas at the same time I was. We didn't link up. It was just one of those things. I was too busy. You were too busy. Any plans on going back? Because I'll be there in June for the UFC 317 card. Any plans to head back?
Man, I'm hoping. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. We'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping so.
So Vegas is always a good time. Always treats me well. So
Okay. They got to give her a shot
I'm
out there
hoping
for
I'll be
like
able
a
to get
fan
back
greet
there.
thing, and then maybe you could tag along, and then we'll grab some dinner or something. That would be great.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely.
There we go. Cool. It's the great Devin Smyth. He's going to be fighting here. Legends of Combat 2, May 10th, live on Spectation Sports. Anyone you want to thank before we get out of here? Any sponsors? Any social media? I'll give you the last word.
Thanking my agency company, GSG Athlete.
Thank you to Umbo. Shout out Life Medical Center. I'm always taking care of my medicals. Umbo always giving me them good functional mushrooms that I need to stay healthy and stay active throughout my day. And thanking my agent, Austin Weber. Real good guy, real good. Thank you to Matt Frendo, the promoter, putting the show together. Thank you to Ryse for accepting the fight, man. Let's go put on the show. And thank you to Rashad, obviously, every time. Thank you to the rest of my family, man. I love you guys to death. And it's gonna be a good night coming up. So we'll see you then.